What's up? I'm Logan Mills. This is our second video in the How to Catch Bass series, and we're going to talk about reels. Let me know if you prefer spinning reels or bait casting reels, and let me know what your favorite brand is as well. So before we really get into it, our hats came in. We have, I don't know, this white and brown color, and then we have the black, and then we have this brown. This is my favorite one. Hopefully in the future, not too long, we will be able to get them out there, so if you want one, you can buy one. Like I said, this is on reels. Mainly we're going to focus on this reel because this is the one I had in the first video, and we're going to put this on the rod in a few videos, and we're going to continue with the series. So I want to speak on reels also in general to help you not spend a lot of money, but a few things you got to cover, like gear ratio. Gear ratio is a big thing. I prefer 7-to-1. So what your gear ratio means, the first number is how many times the spool, how many times in here is going to spin. So if it's a 7-to-1, it means the spool in here is going to spin 7 times for every time you turn this once. So every time this makes a full 360 like this is spun 7 times. And there's like 5 4s, 6 4s, 8 4s, 7 1s. There's so many different, gear ratios. I prefer 7-1 just because if I want it faster, I can reel it faster. If I want it slower, I can reel it slower. They're very versatile. Also 6-4 is a good one because it's in the middle. Like 6-4 and 7-1 are in the middle, and they can do your faster lures, and they can also do your slower lures, like your heavy crankbaits that you gotta really get down there. There's also your brake. You have 2 brakes. You have the one on the, the right side, the reel side. You have this brake here, and then you have this brake. There's two different types of brakes. Let's see if I'll grab this rod to show you because it has both of them. You either have this kind of wheel one, so you spin it. You can spin it left or right, and what it does is the higher it is. So if it's on 5, you're going to cast it. It's probably not going to go nowhere because this is how much force it takes. So if you have it on 5 and you try and cast it, it's not really going to go nowhere. It takes a lot of force to get it. But now if you have it on 1, it'll go way out there. And now if I can remember how to open this up, it's been a while. I could get it without taking it, breaking it or whatnot. It's no pain to get. This one's not going to work. Maybe I can find it on this one. I haven't also do maintenance on them. Like, I really haven't done maintenance on that one. So as you can tell, it's a pain to open. Most of my reels are. This one should have it, I think. If I can get it open. Yes. This one, okay, it does have it. It does. Okay, so this reel has these little knobs in here. And so you can close them and open them. And the way to do that is oh no, this one's the push one. I guess there's 3 different types. This one's push one. So if you could see these little gray, the little gray parts right there, if you push them in, it closes it. So I think that it makes it more towards 1. If you do it on a scale 1 to 5, that's what the newer ones, I think they're 1 to 5. So what it does, like I said, it's the force. The higher it is, the more force it takes to cast your lure. So what you do with these is you push them in to lower it and push it out to, make the force higher. And also, if you take, this is the cover for here. You can also take your spool out, and you can do that. That's a way to make it easier to tie, your line on. But we'll do that one in the next video, which is going to be about line. Find this one. They also have okay, so this one has, you push it and you twist it. They have different locking ones. Always remember when you're fishing, lock them, because I didn't do it one time. and it ended up bad. I lost a cover for a reel, and sadly, now I don't have that reel. It's a very expensive one as well. Let's see if this one has it. This one's a pain to get because it's safe though, because it's harder to open, which is good because, like I said, you don't want to lose the reel cover. Dang, this one has the push one as well. Most of them have, this is an old one as well. The new ones, which I have seen, have the lock, like, this one has the lock on it. So you open and close it to lock it and whatnot. But I really wish I could get this one open, because this one has both of them. But it stinks. But you also have one, it has these little pegs in it, and you flip it down to close it and up to open it, which is up is to higher it, close it is to lower it. And also you have this side, this is the brake on the side. This one, they both kind of, you know, these fine tune it, and this is to get it where, because if you have this brake too low and this one too low, bird's nest. Both of them too high, you're not going to cast anywhere. So you have to find a happy medium with this brake. I keep this, if it's a 5, like this one, like the one I showed you, is a 1 to 5. I keep it about 2.5, 3, 3.5, in that range. And then I fiddle with the brake and figure out where that happy medium is, where I could cast it and get good distance, but you also got to worry about wind. When you're casting, if the wind's blowing at you, you want to tighten your brake a little bit. Because if you don't, bird's nest. Then, this one has 2 cool features that, you know, I don't think none of my new ones have it. This is the only one I've ever seen it on. This bait caster, like a spinning rod, has this button. You can flip it, and you can reel forward, and then you can also reel backwards, like your spinning rod, which I've never seen that on any of the new ones, which I think is pretty cool. But it's like an 80s reel. This was my first one I ever had. And it also has a flipping mode. It has this little lever, a little switch right here. So, normal bait cast you have, you push the button, it locks, you cast it, you reel to get it to pop up to start reeling. This has this little lever. If you flip it up, if you push the button, it comes back up. So what you can do is you hold it, and then when you release it, you can reel. So when you're doing this, it locks up the spool. It releases the spool, but locks this up so you can't reel. So you can flip, and all you gotta do is release, rather than have to put your finger on it, stop it, and all that. It makes it easier for flipping. This also has drag. That's a big thing. It's just like star right here. I call it a star. And what you do, clockwise. So this way, like a clock. Clockwise is to tighten it, so as tight as it can go. Counterclockwise loosens it, as you can see, and you can also hear it. You gotta have that right, because if you don't, then you fish break your line, or when you set the hook, you're not gonna have a good hook set. You also have, some reels have it and some don't. You can take the spool out, and you can take this little piece here and lift it up. So when you're trying to get the line through this little hole, you can get it easier. It's easier for you to grab it, so you can tie it on there. It's not as difficult. Different reels have different ones. This one, some come off, some don't. This one does, which is nice. It doesn't come off, but it comes open, so you can, it's easier. You also have your spinning rods. Let's see, try this one. They're different in their own ways. Depends on what I'm throwing, but for finesse, I'd rather throw, a spinning rod. But just like you have your drag on the side, instead, you have your drag on the top. I don't want to mess my rod up here. But you have the drag here. You can turn it you know, I don't want to really mess with it because this is how I use this rod. But you can turn this to do the drag. And like that one had that little switch, this one doesn't, because this one's a very, almost not very expensive, but it's a better rod. This rod has it. It has back reeling. This little switch, if you flip it, it allows you to backwards reel. You can do it when you're fishing spinning rods, because when they pull drag out, it twists your line up. And so I don't do it because I think it's a little difficult. When a fish is running, you can flip this and just let him take line instead of him, you know, pull drag. You can do it either way. It works both ways, but I just use the drag just because I'm not comfortable with my ability to flip it and all that, work and do all that. But we're gonna use this reel. We're gonna spool it up next video. We're gonna go fishing. I'm gonna catch some fish on this reel. I haven't used it in 2 or 3 years. It's an old one, but it's a relic from the past. Remember? Well, that's not good. Stay hooked, and we'll see you in the next one. See you there.